Good morning, everyone. How's it going? Slept in a little bit. I think I need to grab my sunglasses. It's a little bright out here. But today is food plot day 2. A couple months ago, planted buckwheat and sunflower seeds out front. And today is going to be the first time I'm ever going to try the no-till method. Been doing food plots for, I don't know, at least 15 years. And I've always done tilled food plots. Um, this is the first time that I'm going to plant my fall crop into standing buckwheat, roll it down with a quality packer, spray it, and we'll see what happens. Father-in-law got a hold of me. I'm going to put a food plot in at his place where I have been hunting for a couple years. I'm still going to go out there and do a tilled food plot, and maybe we'll compare and see how things are working out. When I first started doing food plots, I was a big fan of frigid forage seed. And then I just wanted to try other things and see what was out there. So this year, got a couple bags of this Evolved Harvest. And this is just a shot plot. This is basically annual brassicas, some other forage stuff. I'm a big fan where we are. I love brassicas in the fall and winter. This has got forage rape and turnips in it. So got a few bags of this. I got to do about 2 acres. Each one of these 2.5 pound bag will do a half acre. So I got enough to do 2 acres. Got a couple of those. And then last night I also saw these. Well, I've not seen these before. These are also by Evolved Harvest. These are called like the Pro Food Plot Additives. And this one is sugar beets. So I'm gonna add this in there. Got a couple bags of this to add. I know up north where I hunt, man, the guys swear by sugar beets. It's like at the gas stations, they sell sugar beets right out front next to, bundled firewood and bags of corn for the deer. I bought a couple bags of sugar beets up there once, tried them down here. Deer kind of nibbled on them. And then I thought, maybe if it's mixed in with the brassicas and it's growing instead of just laying on top, maybe they'll give it a try. So we'll see. But so we're gonna have forage rape, turnips, and we're gonna have some sugar beets. So I got this sprayer on the quad right now, which is not a boom sprayer. My boom sprayer's over there. I got to do some switching around on that real quick. But yeah, so go figure, the year I finally buy a tractor and a big disc, I'm going to do a no-till food plot. But I've been reading a lot about the soil quality, and this eventually is probably going to be part horse pasture until I can make plots on the rest of the property. So it's kind of a win-win for me. But got my dad coming over. It's always fun to get out in the tractors, and we've done food plots together for years. So we're going to get this going and go out real quick and show you what the buckwheat looks like now. And it looks good. It's the first time I've ever done buckwheat, and I'm kind of sad to even be knocking it over. It looks that good, but let's go out there and take a look. So here is my buckwheat plot. It wraps around there, goes way back in there, comes all the way up the other side, and then there's just this little island in the middle that is still there because there's 3 pieces of farm equipment that were left behind, and my tractor wasn't big enough to move them when everything was wet this spring. 3 months ago, everything looked like this. It took me, I don't know, 3 or 4 days out here with the tractor and the brush hog and the grapple to get everything cleaned up. And I would like to get that cleaned up once the farm equipment's out of there. I want to push this back a little bit, and then back there's a spot where I want to make that just kind of square it off nice. Excuse me. Back in here is an area where I do my firewood. So you can't see it from the house, you can't see it from the driveway, you can't see it from the road, so that's kind of a win-win. But here's the buckwheat. Planted this exactly 7 weeks ago. There was a little bit of milkweed in here, which was fine with me because the butterflies like that. And we can see here, there's 1 seed on that one. If you know anything about buckwheat seeds, they're kind of little pyramids. And they do hurt if you step on barefoot. Learned that 7 weeks ago when I spilt some in the garage. But nice flowers, starting to go to seed a little bit, so we're gonna get these knocked down today. And then right there is a bunch of sunflowers. Also threw some sunflowers in here. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna go get the pull behind sprayer hooked up to the ATV. I'm gonna get the Brilliant Cultipacker hooked to the Kubota, and we'll see what fun we can have out here. But I just love doing food plots, been doing them for a long time. And I'll definitely be doing buckwheat next year. Part of the reason I made the paths around here is my wife and daughter love walking out here and watching all the butterflies, but it seems like the butterfly activity's kind of died down a bit, and they said if you're going to do this, knock it down before it gets 8 weeks. And the bees have had time to collect all the nectar that they need. So we also got a wildflower patch not far from here, so they'll still have a place to go. So gonna go get that done. And like I said before, man, I almost don't want to knock this stuff down. It's just nice seeing a crop take hold that you weren't expecting. Well, here is today's tool list, I guess you could say. Got the King Quad hooked up to the boom sprayer. That one's just a nozzle sprayer. Got glyphosate, the Farm Works brand from Tractor Supply. Some guys use Killer, some don't. Don't judge me, that's just what I chose to use. Got an Earthway even spread. All the seed is in there. And then, as you can see, Dad's on the Kubota with the Brilliant Cultipacker. So I'm gonna throw this seed down real quick, and then we'll Cultipack it down. That's a dual row Cultipacker, so it should do a good job. And then I'll run over it with the sprayer, and we'll see what we come out with. Alright, got all the brassica seed going in there. That's already been thrown out there. The sugar beet seeds are a little bit bigger, so I'm going to do those now. Just kind of shoot around. These are just kind of an additive, but they want you to mix them in while you're throwing your other seed, but I would have been way too heavy on the brassicas then. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, got all the seed put out there with the spreader. Dad's jumping on the Kubota. He's going to go back and Cultipack all this down, and we'll see what it looks like after it's all packed down. Oh, how the times have changed. I'm kicking back with my feet up, and he's the one doing the work. Never thought that would happen. So like I said, this is our first time doing a no-till plot. The little culti packer wasn't packing it down as quick as I thought it should be. So I went and grabbed the 10-footer, and I'm gonna hook the 8-footer behind it. I got stuff to do today, so let's get this done. And that's what it looks like now. I used a broadcast spreader, put in some brassica seeds, then went back through because the sugar beet seeds are a little bit larger. Broadcast those in here. Went over it with the culti packer. I got that old Brilliant 2-row culti packer. Found that in my dad's barn. Actually, my daughter did. She climbed in a hole in the back of the barn. There was a fake wall there when they built horse stalls. And bada boom, bada bang, 8-foot double-row Brilliant culti packer. A week beforehand, I bought the 10-foot Brilliant with 18-inch packers off an old farmer down the road. So now I have 2 culti packers, but you know, the double row was going, but it's not really heavy, and that's pretty dry here. And then I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna go through the trouble of hooking up the 10-footer, I'm gonna hook the 8-footer on the back. It's no problem for the Kubota, and it made quick work of this. All the buckwheat is down, and the only thing standing up are some of the bigger weeds. And then I went through and sprayed it with glyphosate, and now we just wait. But I'll give you a closer here. Everything's down nice. I don't have a crimper. I know a lot of guys like crimpers. What I did, especially in some of these areas, I went in a circle, laid it all down one way, and then real quick went across the top. And it actually kind of like a crimper. I did a good job breaking these stalks up. And the idea behind this is that as the buckwheat decomposes, it's a perfect fertilizer for the brassicas underneath. And as this decays, you know, you got fertilizer. So eventually this is going to be made into a horse pasture. And the big thing with buckwheat is just kind of a soil booster. Then I'm going to follow up with brassicas, help aerate this. And then I got to get busy back in here. It's where there's going to be a horse barn going in the near future. But that's where we are now. I got to load the tractor up, run to my dad's farm, get some work done over there. Got to move some stuff around with the pallet forks. But yep, antique. I guess they're both antiques. Brilliant 2-row culti packer. When I got it, it had still had the steel seat on it and the tongue for being pulled with horses. And then I found that old 4x4 laying around, bolted that on there. It's probably a little longer than it needs to be. And then up here is the steel. I found this Brilliant 4-inch axle, 10-foot culti packer for 300 bucks. Around me, they're going for a minimum of 100 bucks a foot. So if I'd sell that right now, I'd easily get $1,000 out of it. And then I've been watching the spring auctions a couple months ago, and they were going for a lot more than that. They were bringing 1,200–1,300 bucks. So that one's a little tweaked in the back, angle iron. I got to redo that. I might just make a tubular frame out of it. I was going to sell this one. I think I'm going to keep it now. I like it. And then that one back there, I think I'm going to cut down the front row, weld up for a 3-point, because I have some food plots that aren't on this property. And then the back row, I'm going to make a 5-footer for behind the ATV and some other hard to reach places we got. So, but all right, it was a good day off getting this stuff done. Trying to nurse a sore foot back to health. I stepped on something last week and we were camping and was worried it was getting infected for a while. Feeling a little better today. So all right, everybody, thanks for watching. I got to pick up some bags here, but as always, if you don't mind, we appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll do an update in a week or so and see how this is looking. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a food plot for the father-in-law. I'm going to take the disc over there, well, brush hog disc. I got a lot of work to do over there. So all right, everybody, take care.